Hello, welcome to another episode of Awakening with Soulspirational. I'm Tish, and I want to do a series on the chakra system. I have been debating doing this series for quite some time now. Part of what has held me back is knowing that there is so much information available about the chakra system. I didn't want to sound redundant or just another voice repeating the same information. So what I'm going to do, instead of just talking about the chakras and what they are, I want to put an emphasis on energy work. So whether or not you are already an energy worker, whether or not you're a Reiki practitioner, all of us are made of energy, and therefore we can tap into our own chakras for our own health, for our own benefits. And in fact, I've been working with the chakra system for some 20 years now, before I even went into Reiki. So you do not have to be, again, a trained energy worker in order to get the information that the chakras make available. So some of you may be familiar with the chakra system. Some of you may not have heard of it at all, whether you pronounce it chakra or chakra. In Sanskrit, it is the word for wheel of light. So it's a wheel of light, it's a wheel of energy within the energy body. There are many chakras throughout the body. In this series, I'm going to be focusing on the 7 main chakras. They start at the base of the spine, they work their way up into the crown chakra. As we go forward, like today's episode is going to be like an overview of the 7 main chakras. And then the subsequent series will be, like the next one will be dedicated just on the root chakra, the next one just on the sacral chakra, etc. And again, so some of the information I'm giving you is the same information you're going to find anywhere on the internet. What I really want to do is bring this more down to earth and more into your own lifestyle. I think that when we open up our minds to the possibilities of what we can do to help ourselves heal, when we can do things at home that are relatively simplistic, then, why wouldn't we do that? So I'm hoping to make this something that makes sense to you, something that it'll inspire you to want to start working within your own chakra system. So as we're working with the chakras, we are working with subtle energy. So one of the things in my years on and off studying about the chakra system, there are some discrepancies. When you look, there's some people that will assign certain areas of the body to one chakra. Other sites will assign other areas to those same areas to a different chakra. They may see them as being in maybe 2 different chakras. To me, the reason for this is because it is left to the interpretation of the person who's feeling into the energy. So even though we have a base and a guideline, that helps us to set the intention. For example, if I'm going into the root, I know that the root is the color red. So if I'm working within that energy center and I already am expecting to see red, if I see blue or if I see green, then that gives me other information that I can work with while I'm in there. Because I know some people who have seen, before they study the chakra system, they've seen different areas of the body in different colors. So that could be just their particular interpretation. Maybe it really is the color of another chakra that's coming up there. And again, we're talking about energy. So I'm working with what is the known information. So we can, keep that as a guideline or as a foundation as we're moving forward, working with the energy. It is subtle energy. When I am working with people, I don't know if it was in my Healing Hands and Breath episode or the subtle energy episode where I talk about opening up your palm chakras. when I show this to people, some people pick up on the energy really, it's really quick, where it's like, yeah, I can feel the heat or the tingling, whatever it is. And other people are, get that feeling like, well, I think I may be feeling something. It is subtle. So some of us are quicker to experience it. We're just more sensitive to the energy. But the more that you work with subtle energy, the more it will become, the more it'll open up to you, the more you will recognize it when you see it, when you feel it. And again, that's what I'm hoping for with this series, is to get you to just, if you choose to open up, to feel into your own energy body, to feel into your chakras, to see what kind of information that you can get for your own healing purposes. And it's really quite interesting. One of the things you can do right now today, if you are suffering from a dis-ease, you can Google whatever health issue you have, and Google that with chakra, or what chakra governs diabetes. It's going to come back with a list of results, of course, and then go through and start reading about the correlation between the chakra system and diabetes. Whatever issue it is that you may be experiencing, you may be surprised of how much information you really get in there and see, lower back issues. Some will see that it's quite known that it's like the universe is not supporting us, because then we're going into those lower chakras, which is the earth environment. So it's because we're not being supported, generally financially speaking. So we're feeling the weight of the burdens that we're carrying that's stressing out the lower back. You may be feeling the burdens up in your shoulders with a lot of shoulder pain of everything that you're carrying. So when we go in and we search a particular health issue with the chakra system, again, you may see a correlation there. The purpose of doing this is to open you up to maybe a new perspective, a new way of thinking, or a new way to see what it is that's going on in your life. And if you've been experiencing lower back pain, if you can use that information to move forward, to take specific action steps to move in a better direction for you, then find out that your lower back pain eases up. Maybe it eventually goes away. Everybody is different, and like I try to stipulate here on these episodes, is I'm not a doctor, a mental health provider. This is spiritual and energetic information for you. So I'm not curing, preventing, treating any illness or disease. That said, because it is spiritual, because it is energy work, you can go on and get the information. You may find that it doesn't pertain to you at all, and you may find that there's some type of link there energetically or spiritually for you to, if you choose to even, to work on it. So as we're talking about the 7 chakras, knowing that each one governs different parts of the body, and knowing that all of them are connected. So when one chakra feels out of balance, it can affect the other ones around it. One of the ways it can affect is, let's say the solar plexus chakra is off balance. Then one of the other chakras, or maybe even more, may need to work harder in order to offset that imbalance. So when we go in and we take the time to really look or feel into our own energy body, we can recognize that. Maybe it's a matter of, I haven't been opening up to who I truly am. Maybe I have self-esteem issues, or I have empowerment issues. It could be that the imbalance where I want to control everything. So we're just looking in life to get things balanced within our own energy and in the world around us. We can only control that which we can control. So if we can take the time to learn and be consciously aware of where our energy may be off balance, then that's wonderful. I do want to make a little side note too, that if you are If you decide to work with your chakra system, or if you're already working with your chakras, just because a chakra feels off balance today does not mean it's going to feel off balance tomorrow. I've had people that I've met that somebody told them that a particular chakra was off, and they're just under the impression that that's just the way that particular chakra is. That isn't the case. When we are working on our own energy body, we're getting the information that we need in that moment. The higher self, the true self, knows what we are ready to face, what we're ready to conquer for our own soul's growth and evolution. So I'm going to ask for you to trust that whatever memories may pop up, whatever visuals may pop up, that they're there to help you. They are there for your own benefit. And again, you're going to see or experience different things in each of the chakra system. As I said, when we go forward, I'll go specifically into each one. When we look at the 7 chakras, again, they start at the base of the spine, they work up to the crown, to the top of the head. So at the base of the spine is called the root chakra. It's the color red. And then when we go up to the sacral chakra, which is around the navel, some see it at the navel, some see it just about 2 inches below the navel. That is the color orange. Again, the sacral chakra, the second one. And then we go up to the third one. It's called the solar plexus chakra, and it is the color yellow. So pretty much, when you're feeling right there at your diaphragm. And then when we go up to the center of the chest, the heart chakra, green. It's the fourth one. Then we get up to the 5th chakra, which is the throat, the color blue. And then we'll go up to the 3rd eye, or the brow chakra, which is the color indigo. And then again, when we get up to the crown, the 7th chakra, people see this as white or as purple. Again, you may see some variances, like with the heart chakra, typically it's green, but people will see it also as pink. So these are some of those variations that I was telling you about. To me, I just set the intention that the heart chakra is green. So when I'm in there, if I see a different color, it's giving me other information. So those are the 7 main: the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the 3rd eye, and the crown chakra. When we are feeling into them, again, we're looking for, and I'll show you this in the upcoming series, we are looking for energetic blockages. We are looking for stagnant energy. So a chakra, there's a front and a back side. And I'm going to, as I edit this, I'll put a link to my website for my book page. And I'll specifically, at the top of the page, list the books that I think are they're my favorite chakra books. So I'll put that on my website so you'll have it. But when we are looking at the chakras, when we're going in to heal them, that stagnant energy, again, we have a front and back side. A lot of people are focused on the front side of the chakras, and they're not so focused on the back side, but there's a lot of backside information there. There is a book by Cindy Dale that I'll have on the website. She goes much more in depth of the backsides of the chakras. And I think that the backside is really important. You can look at the front as that which is conscious, the backside is that which is of the unconscious or the subconscious. Oftentimes, if I'm dealing with issues from earlier in a client's life, or maybe even a past lifetime, it's usually while I'm working on the back chakras. Not always, because those issues from the past could still be right here front and center with us today. So I just want to let you know that there is both a front and a back side to each of these chakras. And we really, as much as we can, want to open up and pay attention to both. So we're getting a whole picture and not just part of the picture. Although while you're searching, when you're just hearing the general information about the chakra in and of itself, at least you're getting something. You're getting that information. You can start processing it, see if there's a correlation with where you are in life, and start working with it. So when we're looking at a chakra, we're looking at the front and the back sides of the chakra, and they spin. It's kind of like this vortex of energy. When I'm in class and I'm showing people during my chakra classes how to feel into a chakra, we want to have balance. So we may find that the front of a particular chakra is very open, but the back side feels very closed, very close to the body, for example. And the front side feels like it's, out some 12 inches, for example. Well, that clearly is showing that it feels to me that there is some kind of an imbalance. And I'm saying feels to me because we all get the information through our own intuitive filters. So then I'll work on balancing that energy. Sometimes working with the chakra, it's that easy to just kind of manipulate the energy, pull it around, pull it through. There are other times though where it's very, it's almost like putting a Band-Aid on, an open wound or something. If there is a larger lesson to be learned, very likely that chakra could go back into that state because we aren't paying attention to what caused that chakra to be in the state in which it is right now. Sometimes it could just be off just because maybe, something recently happened to us. We're still processing it and it kind of has our energy out of balance. But if we're working with, maybe in the heart chakra, which is very common, where I've had it where it feels like somebody just grabbed my hand and wanted to slam it against the floor. It felt so heavy on the backside. That was telling me through my filter of how much that particular person is carrying with them energetically to things that have happened to them with heart issues, love, relationship, compassion, etc. So then we'll work on that. There are other times where the backside may feel so close to the body, and the front as well, where it feels like, somebody is really guarding their heart. Maybe they've built a fortress around it, or it's under lock and key kind of thing. And again, heart issues are very common. And I don't mean physical heart, matters of the heart. So when we are looking at that particular chakra, then we can start asking questions. And this is for you at home. So if you choose to go through this series with me and feel into your own energy body, it's going to be a matter of you asking questions. And I kind of see this like a flow chart. So if I'm asking, if I'm in my heart chakra, I'm analyzing, what does it look like? Can I see the color green? Are there other colors mixed in there? Does it feel like the energy is moving, or does it feel blocked? Does it feel stagnant? I'll get a good feel of the front side, then I'll feel into the back side. I'll do a comparison. When you are analyzing your chakra, whichever one it may be, if you feel as though something is off, ask the question, what's going on? Most of the time, we are going to get some kind of a response. And this is where I lose some people, because when we are working with energy, as a new person, a person coming in newly learning energy work, oftentimes people say, well, I feel like I'm making it up. Well, okay, then go with what you just made up. There's a reason why that particular thought came to mind, why that particular memory just surfaced for you. I'm going to ask for you to trust it. You may find that you're working within one chakra, but you're feeling it someplace else in the body. There may very well be a connection there. So then you ask, what is this connection? And if you need to, if you're not sure what the other chakra is about, you look it up, get the information. So we can either stay right at the surface. Those of you who know me know that I don't like being on the surface. the meat is below the surface. The information for true change, to me, is almost always, I mean, sometimes, yeah, I'm on the surface and it's like, oh, I get this epiphany and everything's great. Most of the time, it's through my studies. It's through my research. So, and I'm sorry, I kind of went off there because there's something else that I'm researching right now that I'm really excited about. So when we go in and we look at the body in correlation or in connection with the chakra system, again, oftentimes we can see why we've been feeling a certain way that we've been feeling. We're just kind of matching those up. So trust yourself in the process. See it as I was saying, a flow chart. So let's say, for example, I'm in the heart center. I know that I've already set the intention. The heart center is going to be green. So if I'm analyzing the heart chakra and I see red, that's taking me down to the root. So then I'm wondering, and then I'm asking, is there a connection between the root chakra and what I'm feeling here in the heart? And then I wait to see if I'm getting whatever type of psychic or intuitive responses. And then for energy work, and especially, for Reiki practitioners, you can send Reiki to those areas. But if I'm seeing a color for energy workers, you can ask the question, allow images to come to mind. You may get audible messages. You may feel something and go with it. You may feel like you want to, I kind of see it as like a potter's wheel. And as as the clay is going around, they're making a pot. You know how they'll take their fingers and just kind of pull up, and you can kind of see the striations or whatever it is around the pot. So oftentimes I'll see a chakra spinning like that, but instead of it being all green, I'll see this red, maybe kind of, running around it. Sometimes it's just a red block that's going with the spin of the chakra. So if I see that red kind of mixed up in there, just kind of swirling around, often I'll just reach in and just pull the red and pull the red and pull the red until I feel like I have the red removed. If it's a blockage, I'll go in there and work on removing that blockage. There's so many different ways that we can get in there and remove these things. There's so much information. It's limitless. So I really don't want to overwhelm you with information, and I know I can do that occasionally. I just want to open your mind up to the possibilities of what can be when you are within your own energy body, and now specifically within your chakra system. When we're in the solar plexus, for example, it's governed by the sun. So, sometimes we block our own sun. We're kind of hunched over, we're more timid or shy. For whatever reason, we don't want people to see our light. And again, there are other people where it's almost like the blazing hot Arizona sun, because theirs is imbalanced too. It's just they tend to be more vocal. So we see them or hear them more. And it really is about finding the balance, because there's sometimes in life, maybe it's beneficial for us to not say anything in the moment. Sometimes we need to speak up, but again, it's about balance, when to do these things. And as we do this, I swear it's like we develop more trust within ourselves. So many people and it's probably the work that I do, but I see a lot of people with a lack of trust. I am still processing and building up my trust centers, or my trust center, and having trust in my own decision making, whatever it is that I'm doing. The more we work with our own energy, the more we learn intuitive healing, and we're picking up these different aspects of ourselves, or if we're a practitioner working with others, the more we learn to trust ourselves. And especially when you're taking something as intuition, If you're a practitioner and you're working on somebody else and they didn't tell you that they've had a knee injury, but you're picking up this this energy imbalance in their knee, that shows you that you are honing in on their energy body. If you're connecting with somebody and you can feel their anxiety or maybe their pain of what they're going through, then again, and I fully believe that when I am connecting with a client, I am brought to places where they are ready to heal. I'm going to see what I'm supposed to, working within their energy. And I ask my client along the way, I want to make sure that they're comfortable. So, but again, we have to trust it. We're not always going to be right. It is intuition or psychic abilities. We're honing them. I hope to always learn from my students, always learn from my clients. And everybody is different. Everybody has walked their own path, their own journey. And so I'm constantly learning and readjusting. I'm also going to ask for you that as you're going through, you learn to trust and verify. So if you see something, you can research it, see if it makes sense. If you read about the lower back pain and that all makes sense, wonderful, use it. If something doesn't feel right to you, don't use it. Your body will resist or accept what is true for you. Now, just be careful. Sometimes we'll resist because we don't want to face something right now. Be honest with yourself. Am I resisting this because it truly doesn't feel right to me? Or am I resisting this because I'm afraid to open up that can of worms, so to speak, that Pandora's box? So be honest with yourself as you're moving forward with energy work. Go at your own pace. Again, this is not, Reiki practitioners, I like to think that those that are attuned to Reiki, they're using Reiki, they already have a really good sense of this. But even you may be able to pick something up with this series. Really, the base of these episodes about the chakras are for those that are new to it, that have never heard of it. I'm hoping to make this as simplistic as I can, not in a derogatory way, but just because it can be so woo-woo, and I get that. And I want to bring it down to earth. I want to make it accessible to each and every one of you. This isn't about a religion. This is simply about your energy body, paying attention to your energy, and what can I do to get my energy flowing better? Maybe I need to be more balanced. Maybe I'm looking to rejuvenate my energy. The more you become consciously aware and working with your chakras, the more you can get there. So that's like a general overview of what I plan on kind of showing you in these episodes to come. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, info@soulspirational.com. Go to my website, soulspirational.com. And otherwise, until next time, thank you, be well, and namaste.